Fitz of Writing.
Good evening, everybody. This is Sean with Fitz of Writing. I'm sitting here with Shanon Hinkley. We're going to be discussing her book, The Darlington Circus, The Eternal Act, as well as it sounds like a couple of books coming out soon. How are you doing tonight, Shanon?
I'm doing great.
Good.
How are you?
Oh, no complaints. Just, life with kids and everything, like we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Running around, graying my hair.
Yes, same.
But we are here to talk about your book, and I read the sample that's available on Amazon, and I thought it was a really interesting concept, and it looks like it's doing fairly well on there. How long ago did you write it?
Probably a year and a half ago. I released it in July 2024.
Oh, okay.
So it's over a year. And then I redid the cover. So there's actually like 2 out there, but now I have a new cover.
Nice. What how do you go about doing your covers? That's a question a lot of authors that are kind of new on Facebook and everything, they are always asking where they can go out to get a cover made, if they have to look somebody up, if there's a website.
Yes, there's so many different options. The first time I did it myself, like using AI and trying to do graphics online. But I wasn't like in love with it. So the second time I hired somebody, I found them on Reedsy. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that site, but I found a cover artist. They actually did my map and the formatting. It's all redone.
Yeah, I just re-looked at everything and I saw the map. So the Eternal Circus, it takes place, or the Eternal Act, I'm sorry, that takes place in a totally fictional world, right?
So it's like set in modern day world, but they have like this secret land. So like all the circus performers, they all live in this world jubilee that they get into through the circus.
Okay. So would that entail that this reincarnation that you bring up, that's on the back cover of your book and everything, that isn't something that happens to everybody? It is something specific to this group of people.
Yes, so it only happens to Nicole. She is like the main character, and she is immortal. So every time she dies, she's reincarnated, and her immortal circus family, they have to find her again. And then when she sees her husband, Bellamy, she gets all of her memories back. So then she remembers who she was. But up until they find her, she just thinks she's just living, her normal life.
Okay. What kind of inspired that as an idea, as far as like, so is you said her husband, and he is also immortal and reincarnated?
Yeah. Well, he's not reincarnated. Bellamy has been immortal since like the 1400s. He has magic. He got this. It's all explained in the book. He got his powers from witches.
Okay.
So anyway, he developed the immortal circus. He fell in love with Nicole. Because of his love for her, he didn't want her just to die. So he had the witches of Jubilee do the spell that every time she dies, she's reincarnated and comes back to them.
Very cool. It's a very interesting concept. I'm probably going to check the book out at some point.
I get that a lot.
Yeah, no, I like it quite a bit. It almost reminds me, not to like deviate away from movies, but like having like a pair like that kind of makes me think about Hancock, the movie, and that whole concept of there being pairs of specific special people. And that's the generic vibe I got from it, and I thought that was a very interesting concept too. So I definitely would be interested in seeing how you explore that. Um, but did you have that? Did you get that idea from a certain place, or did it just kind of pop into your head? What kind of made you want to put this all down on a book?
Yes. So I've had these like characters in my head for years. Like I remember talking to my sister in 2012 about writing this book. Um, and I don't know where maybe just because I'm just so fascinated with reincarnation and theology, and I'm always studying and researching it. So maybe it came from that. Um, yeah, definitely, it probably did because in my next book, The Velvet Deceit, I wrote after I read the Book of Enoch, and I was just like so inspired. So yeah, I got that from yeah.
There's a lot of good like concepts that you can kind of borrow from those any theological book and story to turn into. I have a friend who made a like a superhero novella out of people with powers that were very relevant or comparable to uh, the Greek gods, the pantheon, and everything there. So I definitely think that
I
there's
love that.
a very
Yeah.
good basis to kind of base stuff off of, and you can't make anybody angry because they're all dead.
Right.
um, I'm still a little bit fuzzy on. You said that there's a prequel and a sequel coming, but did you say that which one's getting released first in October?
Okay. That will be the prequel. It's called The Velvet Deceit. So that will take place before Eternal Acts. I kind of wrote it like Star Wars. Put out the second book first.
It worked out really good for George Lucas, so yeah, that's perfect.
Hey, yeah.
um, and would you? So the sequel that is coming out. Do you have any kind of a guess as when the sequel to the Eternal Act comes out?
I'm hoping before Christmas. So hopefully December. Yeah.
Okay,
That's my goal anyway.
fantastic. And are you planning on expanding the series from there, or is it going to be contained within these three books? What kind of an idea do you
Yeah.
have?
Okay, so I have like books laid out, like so many more just from the series. Um, but for right now, I'm just going to keep it at 3 books because I want to write like 2 other standalone books that aren't anything related to this.
Sure.
Um, but I think I might go back and we'll see. I'm also working with a movie producer who's trying to develop it into a TV series. So
Oh,
fingers crossed on that. I don't know. Yeah.
that's insane. You're the second person that I've actually talked to so far that's worked like is doing what they can to get their story put on television or as a movie in any way, shape, or form, just a visual media. Uh, and you work in TV, right?
Yeah, but I work on like the broadcast news, in live TV. Right now, I work at the Weather Channel.
Mm.
So, yes.
And do you think that that kind of contributes to your experiences in writing? Did it help you set your book in modern day? Do your characters have anything to do with anything that kind of touches on your real life?
A little bit. Like my intro to this book, it kind of starts with like a TV scene, like a news scene about the circus appearing in the town. Um, so, other than that, I don't really, I kind of, yeah, I don't think it has anything related to my work. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we were talking right before I hit record about you're writing a trilogy, you have ideas for more, and you have 2 standalone books that you want to write, but you also have 5 kids. How's that
Okay.
possible?
Yes.
You've got
Okay.
a whole lot of things to juggle
It's
there,
a
it sounds
lot.
like.
Yes, I'm constantly juggling. Working a lot, having 5 kids, a husband. It can be a lot. Like I had to kick them all out of the house to do this. But my husband is good about it. So he's like, gathered up the kids to take them to the park. So yeah, we could just make it work.
Yeah, having a partner there to help definitely is a good thing to help keep the kids occupied and quiet and everything. Mine are
Yeah.
currently holed upstairs playing video games to keep them out of my hair. So I get you there. But do you do a lot of your writing like in the evening after the kids go to bed, or do you have a specific time frame where nobody's going to bug you?
Yeah, usually when I'm glad school started because summer break is kind of like there's no routine, so it's hard to write. But when they're in school, that's like my time in the morning. I'm an early bird, so I like to get up early,
Okay.
get some writing done. So if I can write a little each day, then edit it at night, it kind of helps to have that kind of routine.
Okay. So you like to edit as you go as much as you can, and do you swing back
Yeah,
through once the whole book's done and everything, and then kind of give it
yeah,
another polish?
yeah. And rewrite and rewrite. Yeah.
Well, how many drafts did the Eternal Act go through before you felt like you were
Oh,
finished with
wow.
it?
Um, I would say at least 5. It was my first book, so it took a long time. Um, yeah, it was a lot.
It takes a lot to.
And the first time I wrote it like in third person. So, and then I didn't like it, so I had to rewrite it. And yeah,
I do. I feel like first person's making a comeback with a
Mhm.
lot of people who are
I really
writing.
like that.
Yeah, it you
Yeah,
get really like much deeper into the person's emotions and feel a little bit more connected to the whatever you're writing it from the first person. Um,
yeah. I was saying I've been reading a lot of duet books, like you have like two persons' point of views, and so I'm gonna try to write a duet.
oh, that would be fun.
Yeah,
Get the story from like different parts of from different people and everything, and piece it together on your own. I feel like that's
yeah,
a little bit of a job to do, but you already written what 2 3 books now. You said if
yeah,
especially if the third one's going to be coming out before Christmas, I would assume you're about done with it.
yeah. It
Well,
is done. Just the cover. I'm waiting on the cover.
oh, perfect. Well, there you go. Everybody, get ready to buy her books. Tell me a little bit about as much as you can, as much as you're comfortable with, about what happens in the prequel and the sequel and how it kind of finishes up the whole story for the series so far. What
Okay.
what was the thing that made you decide to do a prequel before the sequel?
Um, I'm not really sure what sparked that. I just kind of started writing this novel. Um, and then afterwards, because in Eternal Act, you'll see Bellamy has like this a little dark side to him. Um, and then I was like, well, where does he get this from? So then I go back and in Velvet Deceit, you'll see where that comes from.
Okay, so it fleshes him out a little
um,
bit.
yeah, I don't want to give it away, like, but something haunts the circus. I'll say that.
That's a good enough. It's a little carrot to dangle in front of anybody watching. Um, and then in the sequel, I guess we is where everybody gets as much closure as they're going to get right now, with the door held slightly open in case you want to keep going with it. Right?
Yes, yes,
Always good to leave the
and
door open.
yes. I was gonna say, oh, I when I wrote Velvet Deceit, I was inspired by reading the Book of Enoch. So there's a little bit of that in there.
So does the prequel take place like way before the Eternal Act? Is it set?
It takes place 50 years.
But it was inspired by the Book of Enoch. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, like there's this part in the Book of Enoch about the Watchers
Hmm.
and fallen angels. So if you ever like research that, I just kind of like dove in. Yeah, it was just I don't know. It just all came from that.
Sure. I,
Mhm.
for my own personal taste, another like great place to like draw, you know, a good concept or a good maybe supernatural. I don't want to say origin story,
Yeah.
but like an origin method. Um,
Yeah.
that you can, really, it really. I who I was just listening to something yesterday where it was the fight between like how much do you explain where it comes from, and whether people like the mystery or they like the explanation. But I'm the kind of type of person who likes to hear where everything came from, even if it's like way out there and supernatural and whatnot and hard to explain. I love it when people
Yeah.
try, so that's pretty exciting to me. Um,
Cool. Okay.
yeah, do you think you had more or less drafts on the Velvet Deceit than you did with the Eternal Act?
Definitely less. I kind of knew this right away. I didn't have much writer's block in this book. I
Okay.
could just wrote it.
And I saw the on the back cover on the sample for reading that it was the publishing company was the Darlington Publishing LLC. I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
out on a limb and say, like, ask, is that your own personal publishing company? Did you fire that up on your own?
Yes. I decided to start my own uh, publishing company just in case I want to write more books and yeah, maybe actually help other people write books. I don't really know yet.
Okay, so have you worked with anybody else since you've done it, or are you kind of just feeling it all out with yourself right now?
Yeah, I'm just working with myself right now. I am working with a person who's doing my audiobook, so that should be coming out soon. But for right now, I'm just gonna publish my own books under this publishing company.
The the thing that I find really, really wowing about that is a lot of folks decide to write a book and they either typically will work with just putting it up on Amazon to self-publish. They'll chase traditional publishing, or one or two people have worked with a friend who has a publishing company. You're the only person I've talked to that just decided to make their own. So did something about that appeal to you as a better option or a smarter option? I wonder if that wouldn't be a good idea for a lot of other authors out there.
Yes. So when I first started looking into self-publishing, because I did try traditional publishing, and did all the querying and everything like that, but um, I just went the self-publishing route, and then from another author that I follow on TikTok, she did the same thing. She started her own publishing company and just started publishing her books um, through her own company. Um, I I I think there's better. I think you get like better tax breaks maybe because of it. So
Tax breaks
yeah,
aren't bad. That's not
I
a bad
know.
thing. Well, I mean, if it takes off, if you get comfortable with it and you can work with other authors that you like and everything, does it offer you? Um, I know that like publishing through Amazon, typically, you don't have very good odds of your book winding up on a shelf anywhere, in a brick and mortar store. I hear that you get better luck with that if you self-publish through a place like Ingram Spark, but because they actually offer discounts for those stores to buy in bulk and everything. But do you think that, let's say this all keeps going, it goes well for you, you can bring a couple others authors on, and the whole thing snowballs? Is there any kind of involvement that you have with where and how your books are distributed, or is that a lot more hands-on for you?
Well, not really because I did self-publish through um, KDP and Ingram.
Okay.
So, but it's still you still have to do like all your promoting and really like try to get your books in stores yourself. So yeah, they offer like Ingram Spark says, oh, you can get your books into bookstores that way, but you're really doing it all yourself. So I reached out to Target, Walmart, all these stores. But honestly, like the only stores my books are in are like little like mom and pop bookstores around like rural areas. And so I have them in like I think 4 stores like around where I live. So
That's
I'm happy with that.
sure, that's it's a better start than a lot of people get to experience, especially going through the Amazon route and going right through there. Like,
Yeah.
I know with the first book that I published, I went totally Amazon with the KDP and everything, and I found out afterwards that like the uh, Yeah, the ISBN of like my book is owned by Amazon. I can't do anything with it without either
Oh, okay.
purchasing it from them or anything. And I think there's like, and I'm not swearing by any of this, but I think there's something about a 7 year limit on all that kind of stuff too. So that book on Amazon and Kindle reads and everything will stay, but uh, I would probably go through Ingram Spark next time, but get my ISBN myself
Yeah.
because then I could do whatever. Is that what you did? You purchased your own so that you could put it
Yeah.
wherever
I
you wanted.
almost used yeah, I almost used KDPs, but then someone told me buy your own ISBN, and I'm glad I did because of that reason.
Yeah, because then it's just one more thing that's always yours, and you can do whatever you want to
Yeah.
with it. Would you say that you are a person who does like a pretty stringent outline before you start writing? Do you need to know like most of what you're going to be writing about before you get started, or do you kind of just get going and take off?
Okay, so I used to outline everything, but as I write, it changes, so I never stick to my outline. So now I just write, and just whatever comes to my mind, it just goes with it. And when I do outline, yeah, I find myself just trying to stay within the outline, and it just, for me, it's better just to kind of just let my mind just go. So yeah, it's more
I
fun.
I tell everybody I have to outline or I'll get lost and then I'll get bored and then just kind of wander off. Uh,
Okay.
but apparently I'm a rare bird there. A lot of people, Ryan, for example, likes to just write with just a general idea of what he wants going and then just see where his characters run off with him. And it works really well. But I've tried that before and it doesn't work for me. So I find that fascinating, but it's very interesting to learn.
Okay.
One of these days, though, I'm going to interview somebody who's also an outliner, and it'll make me feel better.
Mhm.
Do you have any fun writing quirks like what we were discussing? Like how I have to have that horror movie on when I'm writing so that I can hear it but not pay attention to it. You got anything like that that you do?
Um, I just don't like to be distracted, so I'll just be alone, so I can just live in that world and live with my characters. Because I hate, like, just my husband will walk in and I'm like so into this world, and he'll just want to talk, and I'm just like, I can't live with here right now. So I'm just yeah. So I like to be alone, and sometimes I put on like this, like if you go to YouTube and you put in reading ambiances, I do that for when I'm reading too. But it will have like a background, like you can choose fantasy or it's raining. Have you seen those? They're pretty cool.
I have seen videos like that for just kind of ambient music and sound. I think my daughters are a fan of listening to like soft noises when they to help them fall asleep. And I have tried listening to music, just regular music, when writing before, but it pulls me in, and I just wind up typing the lyrics. So
Mhm.
I've never tried with just soft ambience. Uh, but you think that that helps you kind of like zero in on the scene? Do you listen to something specific that you feel like fits the tone of the scene you're writing, or do you just put something on just to have some noise?
um, it's more like listening to rain or waves, like beach waves,
Okay.
or yeah, stuff like that. Not really music, because I would probably get lost in this and listening to the music too. Get distracted.
Yeah, it pulls me right out. So
Yeah.
like I said, I have to have something that I'm so bored with that I can use the noise, but just not get pulled in by it. And unfortunately, I know that movie front to back. It's a good one, but
I'm gonna have to look that up now. I love horror movies, and I've never heard of that, so I have to
really.
look that up.
Well,
Mhm.
is there any horror elements to your Darlington Circus? Like you talked about witches and everything. I did note that it said paranormal fantasy, dark fantasy, as well as romance fantasy. Were like where Amazon listed your books at. Do you think that that's accurate?
Okay. I think so. I didn't really know where to put it because it does have paranormal, like one of the characters is a vampire. Then we have witches. They're all immortal except Nicole. Um, and there's like a love triangle, so it's kind of like a dark romance. Yeah. More in the Velvet Deceit because it's haunted. That was fun writing, so I might want to do more like scary writing.
Okay. Well, I think that I've dabbled with that idea myself and had kept darker elements in the story that I've written and some of the stories that I've written that I just never did anything with. But learning to write horror seems to be a pretty different craft than something like fantasy or anything in general fiction, just because of how much suspense you have to build. So,
Yeah,
but if
that'd be hard.
it's just something to kind of pay attention to. I'd be interested to see how you feel about it if you do try to write something horror related, because it almost seems like they're like horror is its own little subsection of like all the Facebook forums and everything that I'm on too. Like there's dark fantasy, but then there's also several groups that are just horror only, and
Oh, okay.
they seem to have a very different way of looking at things, and I find that interesting that they keep themselves separate, even though, in my eyes,
Yeah,
a lot of horror with your ghosts and your demons and your vampires and everything still fits in fantasy. But
yeah.
yeah, I find that very interesting, and it must be in the writing style. And so I'd be interested to see how you think about it when if you do try to write something horror. You'll have to come back and tell me all about it.
Yeah, I will.
Since you've published, what do you think your proudest moment has been as an author? Like, what do you think your best experience has been so far in relation to the Darlington Circus?
Um, uh, just the fact that I have like these print that I completed them, I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was, and it kind of changed, kind of like this career path for me. So I'm in TV. I was a full-time director, and then I wrote two books at the time when I left full-time. And now I'm just transitioning. Like I just want to write all day. That would be like a dream job. So, yes, I think just it kind of just having this completed first book inspired me to just keep going and let's just try. And I'm also trying to convince my husband to open a bookstore.
Okay.
So,
Giving yourself all of the biggest ups that you can get here that you're working towards it, making sure that you definitely keep control of the
yeah,
situation the whole way through too. That's very awesome. I think that's if your husband's watching this video, you should probably let her have the bookstore.
thank you.
um, so, do you have any less than great things? Any like oops moments that you've had as an author so far, or something that you kind of blushed about that you would want to share?
Well, there was a couple, a little, well, the first thing I guess, I rushed to get my first book, published.
Mm.
So I wish I just like really took my time the first time and focused on the cover and everything and make it look like how I wanted it the very first time instead, because then I, had to redo it anyway. So,
I
yeah.
I know what you mean, and I tried to make my own first cover on Canva, and I didn't hate how it came out, but I was a lot happier with it whenever I had the cover redone and paid somebody to do it.
Hmm.
I also rushed the publishing process, and somehow, some way, the very first sentence of chapter one, where there should have been a comma, there was a period, or vice versa. I can't even remember now. It's been a few years, but when I opened it I was opening it because my aunt wanted me to sign her book, and I went to go sign it, and I looked at it, and I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I've gotten rid of so many copies of this, and they all have that screw up on it. Oh,
Uh-huh.
That was magical. It was just such a good day for me. And then, so I wound up re-editing the entire book just to make sure I didn't do anything else. It's like, how did I miss the very first sentence? You said that you were on TikTok and everything. Are you finding any like good engagement with potential readers or anything like that? While on TikTok, do you create content for TikTok that's involving your book or anything like that?
Yes. So I'm trying to, that's kind of like the only place that I really post about my book. Um, I try to make videos. I'm not very creative as far as like editing the videos and stuff. Um, but I try to do some TikTok videos, and I find that there's a lot of influencers for indie authors.
Mm-hmm.
So they have read my book and reviewed it. So that kind of helps get more sales and get my book out there.
Yeah, like, more than one person so far has been talking about like they just kind of call it BookTok and everything, and I have not been very active on TikTok at all. Um, but it's something that I think
You're missing out on BookTok.
well, I will get involved. I'll get the channel and get some little clips put up there and everything, yours included, and then
Okay.
we can see what we can do there. I'm not currently advertising any books, so but we do want to get involved there everywhere, really. Like you said, so you're most active on TikTok, but do you have anywhere else that people can follow you, like Facebook, Instagram, your own website, anything like that?
I do have a Darlington Publishing website, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook. So I'm
Good.
just more active on TikTok, on BookTok.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, I'll put all of your handles in the description below the video, and at that point, anybody who wants to follow you on their platform of choice can do that. The is hang on a second. I think I've hit just about everything that I wanted to hit. So I'll just ask you if there's anything that you want to tell everybody. You want to reiterate maybe what day your prequel's coming out and keep an eye out for the sequel. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So Darlington Circus, The Velvet Deceit, will be out October 7th. And the third book, The Darlington Circus, Immortal Greed, hopefully will be out in December.
Well, great. I hope that everything goes smoothly with you getting everything rolled out for December. And maybe after those books have sat for a little while, we might have to have you back and talk a little bit more about what your experiences is as the author of a trilogy rather than a single book, and what your plans are after all that. See if maybe you don't change your mind about continuing your series, or if you do get going on these standalones. See if you get your husband to get you that bookstore. So
I have a big list.
All the lists. So, all right, well, we're about out of time, so I'm going to just say check in the description for all of Shanon's handles, anywhere that you can connect with her. She would prefer to see you on BookTok. Please share the video so Shannon can get the word out for her new books coming out and the book that she already has out, Darlington Circus, The Eternal Act. Watch out for Velvet Deceit. That's coming out in October, and please like, subscribe, share the videos, hit the notification bell. With nothing else further, scribbles and scratches, fade to black.